family. Welcome to Vision for Change. I am your host, John Stevenson, and I thank you all for joining me today. My calling number is 1-800-450-7876. That's 1-800-450-7876. I welcome calls, and if I can't get you on air, we can talk about some things, and what I will do is I'll go and talk to you after the show. Well, let me tell you guys my purpose for being here on Vision for Change is my purpose to inspire you to see some change in your life and desire that change. A lot of people desire to change, but they don't know how to change. And so sometimes folks will say, we're going to change, we're going to do things, especially now we're dealing with the new year. Right now about this time, folks they have New Year resolutions, which I'm not a guy for New Year resolution. I'm a guy that if you're going to change, let's make it a lifestyle. Let's not just change to get into a dress or to lose weight. Let's live it, man. Let's be real and let's live it. Now, I just think that what we need to do is if we're going to change our lives, we got to start seeing it. And some things you can see, but how to take those things and flip those things into where you could make it a reality. If you are into social media, you can join me right now live in studio. That's John Inspires 247, John Inspires 247 on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Well, today I want to talk about something that I know that a lot of people are dealing with probably. And you find out people are dealing with this particular issue once you get into some kind of conversation with it. And that's stress. We deal with a lot of stress with our lives. I mean, people got things going on, and it's killing some of us because internally we got some things happening, and sometimes you might not even know that you're dealing with stress, but you got it going on, but your family can tell. It's almost like somebody who is who's been drinking and they drunk. I'm not drunk. I'm not drunk. But if 10 people tell you drunk, you probably should be sitting down somewhere because you probably drunk. But most of our people who are dealing with stuff don't see it, and other people can see it in you. And so today I'm going to talk about just one area. I'm going to start a little something on stress, man, and we'll see how it goes the next few weeks. But let me throw some things out here. These are just some words that if you got this going on, you're probably dealing with stress. Are you forgetful? Sometimes you might just be a forgetful person. But sometimes in certain areas lately, if you've been dealing with, I just can't remember stuff. You got a bad temper, chronic fatigue, sense of helplessness, never having a sense of accomplishing something. You feel like a failure, you got a lot of headaches, or you got a lot of tension going on. I'm going to say it again. Here's some of the things. There's just some keys. Lately, are you forgetful? And I'll tell you, when I was dealing with a lot of stress in my own personal life, man, I am a dude that I just know where everything is. Now, my long-term memory is off the chain. Sometimes if I got a lot of stuff going on, my short-term memory might be suspect. But one time I had left my ATM card in the ATM. I'll never do that. Anything to do with my money, my family, something important, I don't forget that. And I'm looking for my card. I went to the bank. They said, oh, yeah, it was caught up in the ATM machine. I was dealing with a lot of stress. So if you're forgetful, you got a bad temper right now. Now some of y'all just might have a bad temper. Chronic fatigue, sense of helplessness, never having a sense of accomplishment. You feel like you're doing something, I'm just not accomplishing stuff, headaches and tension. Then you got some stress. Let me give you a scripture that I want to give you. This is, if you guys have joined me for Vision for Change, I do things with the Bible. Okay, I just want to make the Bible plain. Sometimes folks get in the pulpit and they preach it, make it too deep, and they use the King James Version. It's hard to understand, but still shout out to all my preachers out there who are doing a wonderful job. My call in life is to make sure this Bible is plain where people can understand it. 2 Corinthians chapter 4, verse 8, this is the Amplified Version. It says, we are hedged in, or pressed on every side, troubled and oppressed in every way, but not cramped or crushed. We suffer embarrassments and are perplexed and unable to find a way out, but not driven to despair. So we're not driven to despair, but there are times when we got pressure coming from every side, embarrassment, things are happening. And basically, I want to read this scripture and let you know everybody got something going on. This is not something new that you might have caught. Everybody's got something going on, but it's how you handle the thing that you got going on. Because truth be told, and you know this is to be true, like I know to be true, your life, if somebody else could take your life, they cut their arm off to have what you have. We just got to get a different perspective so we can deal with some of the stuff that we got going on. So today, my topic is overcoming some inner frustrations at work. How do you deal with some of that stuff that you got going on at work? How do we deal with that stuff? Everybody's got to work a job. We're going somewhere to work. And the truth of the matter is there are some things that just get on your last nerve at your job. Somebody's listening to me right now, and you're like, man, I can't stand it. But you feel like I got to be here because I need to make the money. I got to be here because I'm behind the bills. So, we got to go to work. Everybody's got to do something. You got to go to work and you got to do something. But if you got drama on the job, let's think about it. I know here in the Washington, D.C. area, if you live way up in Montgomery County or you live up in Frederick County and you're driving all the way to Virginia, you got 2.5 hour ride in the car. So you got 2 hours going to work, 2 hours going home. You spend 8 to 10 hours on the job. Then you come home. But you got 8 to 10 hours on that job. It shouldn't be stressful. You shouldn't have drama on the job. And so how do we alleviate that? So my question of the week. When working with other people, this is on my online. Again, John Stevens, John Inspires 24/7, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Say good morning to all my online folks who are watching me online. My question of the week, I put it out last week. When working with other people, what irritates you the most? What is it that irritates you the most when you work with other people? What is it? Because everybody's got something. If you think about it, what irritates you? Because there are people that do stuff that irritates you. Leah Joppy Payton. She told me dishonesty and indifference. Yeah, I can't deal with people lying about stuff. That irks me. Just tell me the truth. If you made a mistake, tell me the truth. Yeah, I got you, Leah. Yep. Monique Dickerson said, my time not being valued and poor communication. Yep. Your time is like money. So if you wasting my time and you're not valuing my time, or you don't have poor communication. Now sometimes poor communication skills, some people just don't know how to communicate. And then if you're a special person, and when I say special, unique, I got to communicate with you a certain way, then I need to know we need to communicate on how to communicate with you. Because sometimes that happens. Because sometimes you're like, man, just don't be coming in my office and just handing me, I don't want papers, talk to me. Well, don't come talk to me, give me papers. Everybody got something different, So people got different things they want. So I need to know how to communicate with you. But I got you. Sherry Levon said, non-teachable people, they're always right. God knows I don't like that either. Non-teachable, somebody that just don't want to learn, somebody that think they know it all. Those are the hardest people to reach, that think they know it all. Alicia D said, inconsiderate of others and lack of initiative and people who show no passion for the profession. I got you on that, yes. Some people are just there for the money, but there's some people who are passionate about it. And you got all those folks working in the same arena. And so I got passion, you just there for the check. So we trying to get something done. I'm all into it. You looking for the next break. I dig it. Yep. Then she said, and they don't care to learn about anything, especially when impacting the lives of other people. Yeah, if you're dealing with something in customer service and you could care less about how to get the job done, that's irritating. I've gone places where people could care less. They just there to get a check. But I feel like this is my thing right now in running the church. One of the things that we're going through is I am not going to pay you to give me bad service. That is crazy. And I'm not going to pay you to give me bad service. I'm not going to blast out this company that picks up our recycling. But I'm going to share the story, y'all, because I'm going to read the rest of this. I don't want to put them on blast, because I know, Lonzo, you're over there laughing, but I don't want to get sued. I can put them on blast. Here's what they told us. They got on us and wrote us and fined us for, Lonzo, it was crazy, man. They fined us for contaminating, mixing plastic with cardboard boards and all that. But the things didn't indicate. So, it's an open receptacle, so people can drive by and just throw stuff in it, So we don't know if it was us or not. But they gave us 2 months worth of fines. So we're like, okay, we were wrong. We'll pay for it, okay? But could you at least take those off? Because we didn't know. We didn't know that was contaminated. You sent pictures, so no warning, no nothing. The one lady said, well, we'll take it off if you sign a new 3-year contract. Oh, really? So you're going to blackmail me into signing a new contract with you? So we go up to district manager and all that. And he said the same thing. Well, I'll tell you what, we'll take away those fines from you if you guys sign a new contract. Well, I was hot. So I said, well, as soon as this contract is up, we are done with them. So I need to do, if you got recycling company, call me here at the station. I need somebody to help me with that. Because I felt like that was wrong. Bad customer service. Now, here's what statistics say. It says every dissatisfied customer goes back and tells 9 other people of their dissatisfaction. So now you might have one or two people making this decision, and now you're costing money for the company. And see, now when the company has no money, see, it's just a domino effect. Well, we got to cut back here, we got to cut back here. Could the cutback be because there was somebody poor at their job? That's stressful. All right, I'm off my soapbox. I'm back. Monica Williams said, when people want to determine their own authority, how can you lead if you struggle with following, or you want to pick or choose? Fall in line and chill. Listening is better than talking most often. Dr. Gina Smith said, people fail to practice active listening. They listen to respond rather than listen to understand. That's so good, Dr. G. And therefore, a lot of people discount the value of other people's ideas. Now, again, folks, on your job, these are things that happen, and those things are so stressful. So thank you all for the C. Truby. She was my guest last week. She said when everyone doesn't do their part to get the job done, and that was good. So I'll tell you, for me personally, some of the stress. Again, I don't want to lose sight of what we're talking about. We're talking about things that are stressful. And I know I got people out there listening to me that are stressful, and the job can be stressful because you're dealing with different people. You're dealing with even your own idiosyncrasies, and sometimes we think we're just right. But let's consider if we are right in a situation. For years, I worked for the United States Postal Service. I got that job back in '87, and I left a job where I was making little to no money. I think my take-home pay might have been $280 every 2 weeks. It was a low-paying job, and I worked in claims at an insurance company. So when I ended up getting this job at the post office, man, I was so excited, man, because I said, I'm gonna make more money. My first paycheck was $900 and some dollars. So I went from $280 every 2 weeks to $960, $70 something dollars. I was rich. At least back then I thought I was. Anyway, I had money. So with no training and everything else, man, I ended up, blowing it. Not being trained on how to take your money, use your money wisely, getting cars, clothes, all kind of stupid stuff. And within 4 years, I was back to having just $280 again. So if you don't know how to do stuff with your money, sometimes we cause stress on ourselves. So I'm at a job where I hated this job, not just because the job didn't, the money part, but it's the other people, and then of course now I got other things going on. I got children and all kinds. So I'm bringing my drama to work with me, and so I want to help you all because I've walked through this thing, not just on my old job, but currently got some things happening where I am. But you got to know how to deal with people, and you got to know how to deal with yourself. So we're going to take a little break for some local weather and some traffic, and I'm going to give you some keys to hopefully help you get through some of the stressful stuff on your job. This is John Stevenson. You're listening to Vision for Change. And so I read my question of the week, when you're working with other people, what irritates you the most and how to overcome some frustrations at work and in the workplace. I got my associate producer. She's put something here on social media. She says stress really can kill you because it can manifest in so many different ways. And it does, man. You'll find out you got headaches, you got problems, back problems. You're wondering, you think it's something going on physically in your body, but it could be some of the stress that you're dealing with. So I want to help you with some keys of working through some of the stuff at the workplace, because some of the drama and stuff we go on at work is unnecessary. We deal with those things because we allow certain things to happen. It's interesting. You can find two people working the same job in the same room. One person is loving. When I carried mail. So I worked in distribution for years, and then I went and I started carrying mail. And then it's almost like for me personally. Now, if you work at the United States Postal Service, praise the Lord for you. But when I worked there in distribution, I had to get off nights. I said, I got to do something to get off nights. I want my weekends back, So I started carrying mail, and I felt like, good Lord, here in the Washington, D.C. area, I jumped from the frying pan into the fire. Man, I was going, and that weather ain't no joke. Now, when I transferred, it was springtime. Got my shorts on. I love it, man. I'm enjoying myself. It's nice outside. Ain't nobody following me. But then the hawk came. Oh, Lord. Boy, oh, boy. And I don't know how those folks do it in Minnesota and carry mail, man. They make it happen. So hats off to all the postal carriers out there. But good God almighty, boy. It started, that rain, that sideways rain. It wasn't that rain that it was that stuff that came sideways. Oh, horrible. Man, I feel like Okay, let me get out of that. I'm back. All right. Anyway, let me read you the scripture. This is John chapter 21, verse 20. This is the easy reading version of the Bible. It says, Peter turned and saw the follower Jesus, that loved Jesus, very much walking behind him. This was a follower who had leaned against Jesus at supper and said, Lord, who is it that will hand you over? And then Jesus answered, said, now here's what he's asking now. He's wondering, this is what Peter is wondering. He says, what's this guy going to do? He said, this guy here is following you, and you're giving me instructions. Let me just set it up a little bit. He's giving him instructions of what he wants him to do. And Jesus is talking to him and telling him, here's what I want you to do. But then here's what he asked him. He said, Lord, what's this guy going to do? And this is what Jesus said to him. He said, maybe I want him to live until I come. That should not matter to you. You just follow me. And basically what Jesus told him was, listen, man, just do what I asked you to do. And sometimes on our jobs, we just don't do what our job is. I'm a big football fan, but I'm not a Patriots fan. I admire what they do. One of the things that Bill Belichick, the coach, says is just do your job. And sometimes we'll go to work and we all into all these other things, and we misinterpret relationships, all kind of stuff. So I'm going to give you some keys to help yourself at work. But first thing, let me give you something for you. The two questions you need to ask yourself is, Lord, am I in the right place? Sometimes we take jobs, and I understand you got to take jobs to make money. But I think that if you're in the wrong job, doing the wrong thing, that adds to frustration because you're doing something just for the money. And I learned years ago, yes, we got to work to get money, but when you are just in it for the money, when the money's gone, you're not in it. And so motives have a lot to do with decisions and how you feel. So yes, I understand it. I had to work a job, but I had to work towards something else. So you need to ask yourself, are you in the right job? I'm just telling you, ask yourself this question. Are you in the right job? And some of you are probably saying, no, I'm not. And the second thing is, what do you want to accomplish in life? Because we're sitting behind a desk, or we're working in a warehouse, or we're doing whatever we're doing. And I'll use myself as an example again. I worked years for the post office because I felt like I needed the money, and that's what I was there for. And when the money got tight because of financial decisions I made, I hated my job. And I started hating the people at the job. Now, it was no fault to the people at the job. It's just something that happened within me. So you got to ask yourself those questions. Now, keys to staying stress-free at work. These are just some things in my personal opinion. I mean, you may think differently, but I got the radio mic, so I'm going to share what I feel. All right. Number one, you need to establish the mindset that your life is more than your job. And I've heard people say, but this is my livelihood. No, well, I'm a believer. I walk by faith, and I believe God's my livelihood. So he uses the job and uses other ways to give me income. But if you walk through with the mindset, this is my livelihood, think about what you're saying. The only way I can live is through this job. And if it's a job you don't like, then you're associating your life with the job, and now life is frustrating. So you got to change your mindset. This is the place I go to bring income. This is just one of the places, because if you got business in your heart or you got something else, you got to find that other thing and start working and channeling yourself through those things as well. This is just a piece of my life. This is not the totality of my life. So you got to change your mindset. You got to think differently about that, because if you're thinking this is my livelihood, think about what you're saying. Words matter. Words matter. So this is my livelihood. This is how I live. And so if you're not happy at your place that you call your livelihood, I'm using the quotation fingers, then you're going to be frustrated with life because you now associated your job with life. And I know some people might be out there thinking, well, yeah, I have to live and eat. Listen, I'm trying to get you to think differently. That's just one channel. I believe there's other channels for you to bring income into your life. Some of you got dreams. You're not even working on your dreams. You're not even working your dreams. Think about working in your dream and you're having fun, making millions of dollars, doing what you love to do. You need to start setting a course towards going towards a purpose of your life and what you enjoy to do. That's why I ask you, are you on the right job? It might be a pit stop. I'm writing a book. When the book is completed, on servanthood to purpose. Some of the jobs that you're working is just training for the bigger thing that God's taking you to. And so when the book is finished, I'll advertise and let you guys get it and talk about it. So if you'll see that in that perspective, that I'm only training for the bigger thing, then it helps you have peace and give other people peace on the job through you. Your job is not responsible for your happiness. This is part A of the number one about establishing the mindset. Your job is not there to make you happy. They didn't design that job to bring you joy. So if you're there fussing about, man, they ought to have some programs to do this. And I mean, those things are good. I think that when you have a company and they establish certain things on the job to bring unity and bring happiness, and I mean, to Google, I heard they have a great working atmosphere. And I think those things are wonderful, but don't you go into it thinking that the job is responsible for bringing you happiness. That is not their intent. Their intent is to pay you. You guys are in agreement. We're going to give you money, you do this, and then we're all happy. Number 2, establish proper relationships. Everyone isn't your close friend, or you should keep personal things personal. Sometimes we go to job and we start telling all our personal business to the people we work with, and you barely know them. I mean, you've been working with them maybe 6 months, 7 months, and you start sharing all your personal business. Yeah, and now your business is out, and now you're frustrated because you didn't properly evaluate what those people were. They're your coworkers. Now, you may develop good relationships, and one of the topics we'll have on the radio show, I just have to flesh it out, is about dating on the job. Should you date? You know, those kind of things. I met my wife on the job. But see, some of that stuff brings drama. I remember dating on the job, and I had one girl I used to date, and I'm dating this other girl, and now I got issues. But see, that wasn't a job. That was my decision. You know, I say this often with people at Facebook. They say, I'm going to get rid of Facebook because Facebook is just frustrating. You chose those friends. You let those people on your timeline. So some people you can silence. It ain't Facebook. It's your decision. So you got to make sure that you make proper decisions with some of the people you work with. I mean, I have a good job. I got great people. I consider them family that I work. I work at a church full time. And I like the people that I work with. I love them, you know, but there's certain things I might not can share with everybody on that job. So some of the things that my business out on the job, did you tell your business? All right, we'll go on because I know some of y'all feeling shake it off, shake it off, shake it off. Number 3, avoid drinking and drugs while working. Now some of y'all might say, some of y'all might say, well, I can drink on the job. Nah, that enhances your anxiety and enhances you being frustrated and all that kind of stuff. Avoid that kind of stuff at work. Number 4, avoid office gossip. Some people love to talk about anything. Don't get involved in that stuff, because then somebody said you said, or you got to look, man, and now you're in some drama. Avoid that gossip. That'll help your stress. And number 5, leave negative issues at work. When you go home, spend time with your family. Don't spend time talking about the drama. Some good stuff, and you got a spouse, somebody that can help you, or a significant other that can help you with some stuff, that's cool. But when you bring the drama from work home, now you got drama at home, and now you meditate on it at home, and then you take it back the next day, and it just grows. So those 5 things are keys that I hope that you guys take. My reason is to help you be blessed. Listen, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back. Well, before I let you go, I just want to give you just one more thing to think about, okay? You listen, you don't have to have stress. That's pressure that you add to yourself. So some of the things I gave you today, I want you to think about. Meditate on it. Think about it. Whatever you let your eyes and your ears get to your heart, that'll manifest out in your life. Listen, go by my website, iloveIgiveIserve.com. You can donate to our ministry, John Stevenson Ministries, jsmonline.org. We're also looking for people to partner with us here at WOLL to do some things that we're trying to do in the community. We love and appreciate everybody for joining us today. Come on back next week. We'll do part 2 to this thing, man. I might have a guest here to join me in the studio. We love you guys. Remember, all things are possible if you can just believe. I'm John Stevenson. This is Vision for Change. See you next week.